want to take a look at, beginning with Maryland at Ohio State. That's going to be a 6:30 tip-off at Ohio State. The Buckeyes open -2 up to -3. Buckeyes taking a little money in the early going here. Once again, Ohio State open 2 up to -3. Total open 138.5 up to 139 and a hook. 54% are leaning Maryland, 67% shaded toward the over. And at the moment, the Terrapins are plus 135 for some money line cash. Now, Maryland has been very good this season. They're 15-3 straight up overall for the year, 5-0 against the spread in their last 5 away from home. Maryland ranks 4th in college basketball in defensive rebounding, 3rd in free throw percentage away from home, and 7th in defensive scoring on the road as well. Meanwhile, on the Ohio State side of things, they failed to cover in 6 out of their last 7 games. They're also just 1-4 against the spread in their last 5 at home. And when it comes to the scoring, Ohio State is 4-1 to the over in their last 5 on their home court. Maryland 7-1 to the over in their last 8. So with all that said and done, I'm going to lean toward the road dog in this one. Give me the Maryland Terrapins +3 in the over 139.5 in that one. Next game, St. Joe's at St. Louis. 7 o'clock tip-off at St. Louis. What is St. Louis's nickname? It's like really weird, like the Hurricanes, Billikens or something. But anyway, St. Louis open -8 up to -8.5. Total open 133 up to 134 even. 58% are leaning St. Louis, 61% shaded toward the under. And at the moment, St. Joe's is plus 360 for some money line cash. Now, if you like St. Joe's catching the points on the road here, it's going to be tough sledding for you. They're taking on a St. Louis squad who's 13-4 straight up overall for the year, 10-1 straight up on their home court. St. Louis ranks 17th in college basketball in defensive scoring, 21st in home defensive scoring, and 40th defending the 3-ball. Now, St. Joe's on their side of things, well, they failed to cover in 6 out of their last 8. They've also failed to cover in 5 out of their last 7 on the road, and they're covering just 20% of their games as the official road underdog. And when it comes to scoring, St. Joe's is 4-2 to the over in their last 6 when traveling. So with all that said and done, I'm going to purchase the half a point, slide it down, and take St. Louis -8 in the over 134 in that one. All right, next game, Eastern Michigan at Buffalo, 7 o'clock tip-off at Buffalo. The Bulls are -16, total open 146 up to 148. 67% are leaning Buffalo, 76% shaded toward the over. And at the moment, Eastern Michigan is plus 1,200 for some money line cash. Now, if you like the Eagles of Eastern Michigan, I think they're the Eagles, I'm not sure. Those directional Michigan teams, I think it's Central Michigan Chippewas, Western Michigan Broncos, and I think it's the Eastern Michigan Eagles. Let me know in the comments section below if I'm right. But anyway, the Buffalo Bulls are 10th in offensive scoring, 19th in offensive rebounding, and they're 7-1 against the spread, taking on teams under 500. Buffalo's also 12-4 against the spread overall for the year, 10-3 against the spread when laying the points, and 3-0 against the spread in their 3 games that tipped off at the current point spread. Now, Eastern Michigan on the other side of things, well, they're having a tough time on the road getting the job done. They're covering just 28% of their games away from home. They're also covering just 22% of their games when catching the points. They failed to cover in 5 out of their last 7 as the official road underdog. When it comes to the scoring, Eastern Michigan's 4-1 to the over in their last 5 on the road. Buffalo 4-2 to the over in their last 6. So with all that said and done, I'm going to lean toward the Bulls of Buffalo, -16 in the over, 148 in that one. All right, next and final game for the show, it is going to be Xavier at Nova, 8:30 tip-off at Villanova. The Wildcats open 10.5, down to -10, total open 137 and a hook, up to 139. 59% are on Villanova, 75% shaded toward the over. And at the moment, the Musketeers of Xavier are plus 450 for some money line cash. Now, Xavier is 9-4 straight up in their last 13 games. They're also 9-4 straight up in their last 13 on the road, dating back to last season. Now, on the Villanova side of things, they're covering just 37% of their games at the Pavilion. They've also failed to cover in 5 out of their last 8 as the official home favorite. Now, when it comes to the scoring, 7 out of Villanova's last 8 at home stayed under the total. Meanwhile, Xavier's just 16% to the over on the road this year. So with all that said and done, I'm going to lean towards Xavier plus 10 and the under 139 in that one. All right. Next and final slate for the show, it is going to be in the NHL, and I'm going to start off with the Maple Leafs at the Panthers. 7 o'clock puck drop in Florida. Toronto open 135 up to 140. Nickel move upward towards Toronto. Total open 6 up to 6.5. 63% are leaning Toronto, 76% shaded toward the over. And at the moment, Florida's plus 120 for some money line cash. Toronto's plus 180 for some puck line cash. We've got Sparks in net for Toronto, Luongo in net for Florida. Now, those are the projections. Don't piss me off today. Those are the projections as of 10 o'clock a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Things change in the NHL, so that might change by game time. But as of right now, 10 a.m., Friday morning, Eastern Standard Time, we have Sparks in the net for Toronto, Luongo in net for Florida. If that changes, it's not on me. Don't piss me off today. All right, Toronto 16-5 and 1 away from home. Once again, Toronto 16-5 and 1 away from home this season. That means they're winning 73% of their games away from home. Florida on their side of things, well, they're winning just 28% of their games, catching plus money. They're also just 4-10 straight up, taking on teams over 550. Now, when it comes to the scoring in this one, Toronto's first in road scoring. Florida's 5-1 to the over in their last 6 at home. So with all that said and done, I'm going to lean Toronto minus 140 in the over 6.5 goals in that one. All right, next game, we're going to skip by and take the Islanders-Capitals game. That's going to be a 7:30 puck drop in the nation's capital. Washington opened 165 all the way up to minus 185. That was a 20-cent move toward Washington. Once again, the Caps opened 165 up to 185. Total open 5.5 up to 6. 66% are leaning Washington, 75% shaded toward the over. And at the moment, the Islanders are plus 160 for some money line cash. The Capitals are plus 145, laying the goal and a half. We have Grice projected in net for New York. We have Copley projected in net for Washington. And once again, don't piss me off, all right? That's the projections at 10 o'clock a.m. Friday morning. That could change. And if it does, it's not on me. It's on you. Anyway, Washington is winning 37% of their games, taking on teams allowing less than 2.6 goals per contest. They also failed to cover in 6 out of their last 8 puck line plays on their home ice. Now, when it comes to the Islanders, they're actually pretty hot right now. They're 10-2 straight up in their last dozen, 5-0 straight up in their last 5 away from home. The Islanders, believe it or not, rank first in defensive scoring. They're also winning 78% of their games at the current market price. Now, when it comes to scoring, the Islanders are just 16% to the over in the second of a back-to-back. So with all that said and done, I'm going to lean New York Islanders on the puck line, plus 1.5 in the under. 6 goals in that one. All right, next game, Penguins, Coyotes, 9 o'clock puck drop in Arizona. Pittsburgh open 150 up to minus 160. Totals at 6. 65% are leaning Pittsburgh, 81% shaded toward the over. Arizona's plus 140 for some money line cash. Pittsburgh's plus 170, catching the goal and a half. We have Matt Murray in net for Pittsburgh, Kemper in net for Arizona. Those are your projected starters. That could change. Now, Pittsburgh is 10-3 straight up in their last 13, 6-2 straight up in their last 8 on the road. The Pens are ranking 3rd in road scoring in the NHL. They're also 13-7 straight up when Matt Murray makes the start. Now, Arizona, on their side of things, they're winning just 39% of their games on their home ice. They're 5-8 straight up as the official home underdog. When it comes to scoring, we're looking at a Pittsburgh team who is 71% to the over, taking on teams averaging 2.6 to 2.9 goals per contest. So with all that said and done, I'm going to lean Pittsburgh minus 160 in the over. 6 goals in that one. All right, next and final game for the show. It is going to be Detroit at the Flames. 9 o'clock puck drop in Calgary. The Flames open 235 all the way up to 260. Total 6.5. 75% still leaning toward Calgary. 56% shaded toward the over. And at the moment, the Red Wings are plus 220 for some money line cash. Calgary plus $1.10 for some puck line cash. Now, the Flames are second in scoring in the NHL. That's where they rank. And they're also scoring 4.3 goals per contest on their home ice. Calgary's 5-1 straight up in their last 6, 4-1 straight up in their last 5 at home. They're also winning